We're trying to be fancy.
I didn't think we were going to make it today. Like one thing after another kept happening to lead me to believe that we were going to not make it to podcast time.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Here we are. We are here. I'm going to look at you this way.
I know.
That's how it looks in all those.
So we're in the same room.
Yep.
But she's over here and I'm over here. And we're opposite because on your screen, I'm over there. Wild.
Oh my gosh. All this time. Okay. So today, what are we going to title this?
Intentions.
Okay.
Intentions.
I like it.
So we were talking about we're at like the 3/4 point in the year, and we have, as we round out October, we've got 2 months to go to finish well, and then we start over. So as we finish out this cycle, we thought we'd go back to January and look at the intentions we set and kind of do a debrief on what's happened, how we're feeling, where we are, all of that.
Before we start, you know what I really want to do? And please let me know for real. All 5 of you.
5, or are you making that up?
No, I don't. I'm making that up. I'm like, all 5 of you people.
I got excited.
No,
5 people.
all 1 of you. If you're local, hopefully you are. I want to do, I don't, you might be busy. You're traveling. I don't know. Anyway, a New Year's Eve, like,
intention setting.
Yoga class, like 108 sun salutation, intention setting. I think we need to do it.
If I'm in town, I'm here, but no promises because we are talking about like where do we want to spend New Year's?
Yeah, we'll have it up in the next few weeks because I thought it would be fun.
Oh, you want to do it at the turn?
Oh, I want to do it. You could take a nap beforehand.
I could try.
Listen to me like I go to bed at 9.
Midnight is wild.
I'm looking at my clock now going, ooh, it's getting.
I mean, I get up for Kundalini at 5:15.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. I'm playing around, but it might be a New Year's Day thing.
No, it would be fun though. I like the idea. And I definitely, even if we don't get together and like do yoga in person, I would like to connect and like document our intentions and maybe burn our like what no longer serves us.
Yes, I definitely want to do that. So when you get back, we can still do it.
Okay.
Or we can do it
figure it
via
technology.
Via all right, you go first. Intentions. So what was your OG intention?
My OG. So I went and I had an index card.
Oh my gosh.
Can you believe I found it?
That was a big ass book. But
so it says, in 2024, I want to become a friend to myself.
I love that.
Yeah. Well, and if I think back to what was going on at the time, I was coming off some heavy stuff. And I had a couple of really hard years. And I was talking to a therapist. And for people who don't know the history or haven't been with us from the beginning, I had breast cancer. I had a double mastectomy. My grandma passed away, and if we start backwards, it was COVID, and then my grandma passed away, and then breast cancer. And so it was like just boom, boom, boom. And I was really struggling. And, when you and I met, I was coming back to yoga after that big surgery. And on top of everything, and it sounds so silly, but on top of everything, now I was in recovery and I wasn't strong. And I couldn't do a sun salutation and I couldn't do a plank. And like, I was very hard on myself because my body wasn't what it had been before. And I was sad. And I remember I got a therapist because I knew how sad I was. And she was asking like, where is the sadness coming from? And I said, like deep inside, I'm a person who laughs and I'm a person who sings in the kitchen and I'm a person that dances for no reason. And I haven't done any of that in a long, long time. And I don't know where it went. And so like through that process, we talked a lot about how hard I was being on myself and how I had these huge expectations and I wasn't just being patient with the process. And so by the time we got to January, I understood what I needed to do. And so it was really around, how do I treat my friends? And was I treating myself the way that I would treat my friends? And so when Monday, we had our Ashtanga class at the studio, and you kicked it off with silly music. It was like Monster Mash and Halloween music and Thriller, like music that is not super easy to dance to. And we were dancing and laughing and playing. And I didn't realize it in the moment, but as I was driving home, I was just like walking on air, and I realized, like, oh, I'm joyful. Like, I found my joy again.
Oh,
And so it was like this neat culmination of like a couple of years of work to get back to the place that I want to be.
wow. Yes. So the process might be a slow one, but
Yeah. It doesn't always happen overnight.
rarely,
Rarely.
I think.
Yeah. We expect it to, though.
Yeah. Oh, especially nowadays, right? I'm going to go up and look and see if anyone said anything. I'm going to be really disappointed if no one did. Oh, Esmeralda.
Hi, Esmeralda.
Oh, that's so sweet. We love you. Mwah. She said she's on a walk and she can't wait to hear the rest of the story.
Nice.
So, okay. So, you're at a good
Yeah, I'm at a
stopping point
pause.
here?
Totally.
Because I want to do Rachel's intention. So that's mine. Her first,
The other Rachel.
she gave me 3 stages because same kind of thing. Like as she was moving into her intention, then she like added to it, I guess. So it's not going to be as exciting as the way she tells the story, but I'm trying to, because she uses her hands very elegantly, and she's like, so anyway. But in January, where she was, same kind of thing. Like she was in a tough spot last year when we met her, and by the time she got to January, she was in an okay spot, still struggling, going up and down with some things. And so hers was keep going, no matter what. I remember her talking about some days she didn't want to get out of bed. And she's like, you know what? I'm just going to get out of bed. That was her. And then once she got out of bed, she kept going.
Right.
So that was January. March, she was feeling really good, and she started opening her heart. So her thing was try to open my heart and keep it open no matter what. Even if there's hurt, even if there's disappointment, keep my heart open. So that was March. And then now I'm like, and what about now? And she's like, my heart is blasted open. And she's like, and now it's time to, now she's trying to bring that down a little bit, keep it open, but not have heart explode like my dog Yeti.
Right.
Like, she doesn't want to be quite that aggressive with her open heart, but it's nice to have that. It's a better feeling than anything, I think. And now she's balancing it out, and then listening to her heart, listening to her mind and her body, and kind of getting this wheel of balance going.
Nice.
So that's hers.
That's awesome.
And
Yours?
mine, I always do this, and it's sort of like her March one is to be open. To be open, don't dismiss something because it sounds scary. Be open to the things that I've already started. Be opening to continue them, which I've been trying to do.
Yeah.
And also, not to give into the alcohol urges as much.
Ooh, that's a big one. That's hard too.
Yeah, it is. Because I would sit with my wine at night, and I'm not going to lie though. I mean, I'm having like it's affecting me physically.
Mhm.
So that does help. But
Hold on though, I want to pause you
okay.
because you're discounting the work you're doing because you're doing it for your health, right? But there are a lot of people in this world that have horrible symptoms or
True.
side effects
Yeah.
from a myriad of things and continue doing them.
That's true.
So
You're right.
the
You're
fact that you're being present, you're acknowledging that these side effects are from that, and you're making a change is a really big deal.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah.
I feel better. I mean, it's not I'm not I think the thing that has helped me is not closing the door on it.
Mhm.
Like it's there
Yeah.
if I want it. And I do have it, but it's not
Not
like it
every
was.
day.
No,
It's yeah.
not every day.
Yeah.
Like weekend and sometimes not even. But I like my little dinner drink
Yeah.
with Rich sometimes. But other than that, I mean, really, I've it's not as exciting as it was. I love it. Like people are like, "Oh, I hate the taste," or "You don't love the taste, but you get used to it." I'm like,
Mhm.
I
You love the taste.
I love it.
No, I feel that way about red wine.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm kind of in the same place. Like I'm limiting, and for me, it's not immediate symptoms. It definitely is hangovers. Like I enjoy being able to get up early in the morning and start my day and not
Yes.
have any impact from what I ate or drank the night before. Um, but it's also the more research I read about how bad it is for our long-term cognitive function. Like that I do not want to be an old lady that that's terrifying to me. Like not being in charge of my own cognitive skills
Yeah.
is terrifying for me. So that's a real driver for me. And like maybe I want to minimize this.
Yeah. I'm there too with just the whole physical
Mhm.
part of it too. Brain all the way down.
Absolutely. Yeah. A
Yes.
lot of the things I do in my life are driven by I want, or however long I'm meant to be on this earth, I want to be able to live richly, right? I want to be able to move. I want to be able to think. I want to be able to express myself. I want good years.
Yeah. I like it. And what else with your stuff? Like, what have you done to continue it besides what you already told me? I mean, do you have anything else more
Yeah,
to add?
I think so. I went to a yoga retreat this past weekend, and it was with a Kundalini teacher. So there was definitely some Kundalini influence, but it wasn't really Kundalini. It was chakra, and we were
Okay.
talking about the energy centers in the body. And I won't. We don't have time for me to like really give the debrief on the whole workshop. But one of the things that really jumped out at me was we were talking about like, the sacral root is, the root chakra is your stable, your foundation, and then you move up to your heart. And I skipped a few. I did that on purpose, right? Because I want to lead with my heart in this world, and that kind of comes back to that whole thing we were talking about a minute ago with like the joy and the laughter and the dancing and the love and the connected conversations and like just all the things that make me. And what she was talking about during as we were working through the chakra, she was talking about like you open hearts to like have a healthy open heart. I'm going to do the quote.
Yeah.
So open hearts require massively stable foundations. And and for me it was like just this moment of awakening, like, oh yeah, like when I was going through this period where I lost my grandma who was my person, and like my foundation was shook.
Right underneath.
Breast cancer, my foundation was shook. Like all these things were happening that made me feel like my life wasn't stable and I wasn't safe. Of course, I didn't have the open heart that I wanted. And so it took coming back and really thinking about stability and foundation. And I think I still have some work to do there, just making sure that I'm stable. And then I can show up with the open heart. Because then that's the other piece, right? so often when we're leading with our open heart, we are giving, 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 giving to the point of depletion. And if you're stable in your foundation, you don't do that. A separate yoga workshop that I went to. This I know I
just last week.
all the yoga workshops. But this same teacher was talking about the concept of you can't fill from an empty cup. And I've heard that my whole life, right? My grandma used to say it. We talk about it all the time. You have to fill your cup first. You have to make sure that you have the energy before you give it away. And she kind of took it to the next level because she was saying, so often we think you need to fill your cup up and then you have something to pour out, which is how I always thought about it,
Yeah.
right? As long as my cup is full, then I have something to share. And this particular teacher was like, that's not it. You want to create a wellspring so that you have a full cup and it's overflowing. And all that overflows is what you give away. And you're always full. Right? Isn't that mind-boggling? And it's like I've been there. I know what that looks like. I just didn't realize that that's the state that we need to be operating from.
Jeez,
Yeah.
that's some fixins to do.
Well, and for me, I think for everybody it's different, right? But for me, it's my yoga practice. It's my philosophy practice. It's making sure that I am putting the things into my brain and into my body that create the energy and the joy and the purpose. And then I have all this extra and I have all this extra to give away, but I'm not depleting myself to give it away. And
Yeah.
I mean, I think about it like when my kids were younger and I was exhausted and I would just like, you're just making it like, I just gotta make pizza tonight so we can get to bed and you're just exhausted. And this paradigm just kind of flips that. Like if I had the wisdom then to know that if I had taken care of myself a little bit better, I would have had so much more to give them. Gosh, I wish I had known that.
I know. I think about that too. Like at some point during that time, I started to do yoga, but it was not. It was for stretching.
Yeah.
It was to counter my running because I was so tight. And I'm like, and that's when I did start to go, oh, wait a minute. But
it takes time.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still trying to figure it out, but it does. It takes so much time. Again, back to like, it's not, I did yoga today. I feel enlightened.
Right. Well, and to your point, same story, right? I've been doing yoga in some form or fashion since I was 18 years old, and I turned 50 in April, right? It's always been a big part of my life, but for so many years, it was fitness. It was asana. It was an offset to running or weights or like whatever I needed physically.
Yeah.
It's taken, and I don't know that you can get there like early, right? We have to go down that path to get to this point. And so here's another quote from the workshop. Your embodied experience creates your wisdom. And so that was another one. I was like, oh yeah, like when I was 20 and I was doing yoga to be healthier, physically healthier, I didn't have an embodied experience to tell me that there was a deeper level. Like I had to walk my walk. I had to go through my path. I had to go through all the hard stuff to get to this place where I'm like, wow, life is amazing. Because I truly do feel like that every day and every moment, even when hard stuff is happening, I'm still appreciating life. And like I'm still joyful in the moment, even if it's not exactly the moment that I would have orchestrated.
Yeah.
Whereas when I was younger, I spent a lot of time trying to orchestrate.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. In fact, one of my favorite things, even though it doesn't work, is trying to, like, I was just on the phone with Richie today, and he's like, ugh. And I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, I'm studying for this test, and he's not, that's not fun.
Yeah.
It's not fun. and you cram your brain with all this information, and he's just like, oh, it's going to suck, and I just, I'm worried about it, and I didn't do well on the last test, but then we had an essay and yada yada. I'm like, see, like you redeemed yourself.
Right.
It's fine. And I'm like, and don't and
Yeah.
so I'm like, it's gonna be fine. It's not here yet. Just because, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to give him the tools that he won't get yet because he's not
He has to
done
live
enough.
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm like, yes, see, this is it. This is his walk that we get to watch now.
Right.
And then when he has whatever realization of whatever it is, and I don't see him like going and taking yoga classes every day or weekend or anything, but there's going to be something that catches him, something that he's going to take and have this wisdom and have this tool to get him through. And I can't wait to see what it is. Justin, I've seen Justin do it already, and it's so cool to like sit down at lunch with him and have him be like, yes, I was trying to tell so and so that it, and I'm like,
you're like, I know that feeling.
yeah, it was so cool.
That is so cool. That is, it is, this part of parenthood is really cool. To your exact point, like we're starting to see their adult selves and how they're going to approach life, leveraging these tools that we've sprinkled in, right? And they're starting at a different place than we started because of all the things we learned that we were able to give to them. But they still have to do their own walk. Like it's going to be different. They're not going to do our walk. They're going to do their walk.
Yeah, it might be totally different
Mm-hmm.
terrain
Yeah.
than our
It's
walk.
totally
I hope it is.
different.
I hope it's flat and steady. It's just a few little curves.
But I think, I don't know if this is mine for next year or not, but mine for right now is I have enough, I do enough, I am enough. And so I'm meditating on that. I'm like, that's the nugget
that?
I'm keeping.
Yes. Can I write that?
You can write that.
Because I love it. Do you like my pen?
I love your bed. I have enough.
Wait, I gotta write. It's oops. What am I doing? Potential intention. That's a lot. Okay, I have enough.
I have enough. I do enough. I am enough. And it works everywhere. Like you and I even had a conversation a couple months ago around working out. Because we're doing our Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm doing my yoga and I'm doing my walking and I was throwing in some spin classes. And you were like, hold on, you're doing enough. And I had to listen to you because I was doing enough, but my tendency is to think I need to do more. Like I always think I need to do more.
Yeah.
And so it's a life practice right now to be like, wait a minute, maybe this is enough.
Yeah, it's a lot, and that there is such a thing as overtraining.
Mm-hmm.
Done it.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel good.
Well, I think even this morning. So this morning, there's 3 of us that work out together. Rachel leads it, and then the 2 of us come, and one of us, not me, is running a half marathon on Sunday, and we get together this morning, and she's like, I just don't feel good. My body hurts. My butt hurts. We did legs on Monday. I'm worried because I have this run on Sunday. And collectively we were like, okay, let's take it easy today. And I think there's something so beautiful about that, right? Because it's hard to make that decision for yourself. But 2, it's very rare that you have a collective group that's willing to say, oh, you need something different? Then let's do it different.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah.
And just doing that, helping someone through their struggle is something else entirely for your body to
Absolutely.
feel
Absolutely.
good about, you know?
It's
So,
well, and it's that like humans are meant to be connected creatures. We are meant to be in connected community. And so by creating this connected community, we're healthier already. Well, and then
mhm.
I take it to, we for what 2 years now we've been talking about hugs and the
Oh,
oxytocin and
yeah.
like and so I left here this morning and I went home and I was like, all right, who wants a 20-second hug? And then I hugged
Mm.
Braden and I counted real slow. And my husband was like, that sounded like longer than
That was
20
like 35
seconds.
seconds. No.
So then we used the stopwatch and he only so Braden got a counted 20-second hug that was probably more like 35. And then Ashley got a right on the dot 20-second hug because we watched the stopwatch.
And
And
he's
then
like, break.
halfway through it, he's giggling because like it's so awkward. But it's
Yes.
awkward in a really good way.
It is. And it's actually exactly, your body is reacting to all kinds of things
Mhm.
when you're doing that. Because we think we don't want that, but we actually do.
Yeah.
And so your body and whatever's happening in your brain, because if you're rationalizing it, you're like, I do love this person. I do like hugging this person. But for some reason,
But we've been hugging for a really long time.
yeah, I haven't done that in a while. Justin is not a hugger.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna have to get him on when we go away for Thanksgiving. I'm gonna be like, let's get our huggings in.
It's time for the 20-second hugs. Well, and then Ashley this morning, I gave him a 6-second kiss, but it was just a
Yeah.
like just holding lips together kiss. But 6 seconds is a really long time.
It wasn't a
so-
5-second Frencher.
No, there was no Frenching involved, and we were both kind of snort laughing through it. So we're holding our lips together, and we're like, and so when it was over, we both felt elevated. And I think that's just such a piece of it. Like just what are you doing to elevate your mood and your family's mood and your friend's mood? Like it changes your life.
So now I feel like a slacker. I need to get going. I did hug Yeti for like 10 seconds before she started nibbling on my nose.
I've read the same thing about the endorphins and oxytocin created by hugging your dog.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got. I got a quick hug from Rachel before she left. So.
You didn't make her hold for 20 seconds? I
No,
almost
she
texted
was-
her. I had a really busy work day, but there was a moment where I was like, do I have a hole in my schedule? Can I text her and be like, come on over here for a 20-second hug before you leave town? Didn't do it.
Oh.
But I think she would have.
Oh, totally. I think so too. But yeah, she was like, "Oh, did I remember?" You know, she was in her like, "I don't want to forget anything."
She
Mode.
has big stuff going on.
Yeah, but she got. Did she send that to all of us or just me? That she got her sticker and her.
She didn't send that.
She got. She
Okay.
sent me her little 2025
Good.
sticker. I was like, "Yay,
Hey, she's
she
legal.
got it!" But it was funny. I'm trying to think of what else I was gonna. I got all this crap here. She's doing her, I don't know if you guys know this, but no, I think she did mention it. She does these sun catchers. Oh yeah, because
Yes,
we did talk
I
about
have
it.
one. I
And-
actually moved. So the sun catcher she made me, I had in my car and I left it there. And then for fall, I pulled all my plants off the front porch because we had an almost freeze a couple weeks ago. So like I pulled everything off the front porch then and I put it upstairs in what used to be the yoga room and then became Braden's music room. And then it's kind of an office. And I put all my plants in it. It's got a big picture window. So now it's the solarium.
I love it.
I hung the sun catcher from the window above one of the plants. And Braden walked in and he was like, is that from your car? And I said, yeah, I thought it would be nice in here. He was like, I like it.
Oh,
Yeah,
all
so-
right. I need to get one. I didn't get over there, so I missed it all. So I just want to read. So one thing I did do for a little
Now, what
while.
is this book?
So this is it's my planner that I totally don't use, and I wish I
Oh,
did,
okay.
but I used it for a while.
Okay.
Um,
I like it.
it's the ritual planner, but and I wish I knew how to do this. It has all this stuff that I wish I knew,
Yeah.
but it has all
Did it
the
have like
signs.
online instructions? Surely there's a.
There is, but the sticker packs were sold out, and the
Oh.
other stuff there's like tarot you can do with it and stuff.
Gotcha.
I should have had Rachel do that before
I
she
was
left.
gonna say Rachel would know what to do, or she'd figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm not real good with that level of detail.
So let's see, what did I write? Manifesting this month. So in January, what was I manifesting? We as a team will make changes for longevity. I don't know who the team was. Maybe it was probably at yoga.
Ask you that. Who are we talking about?
Oh my God, you're going to remember this, I think. Daffodil Hill Farms. Rich was sitting on an airplane in first class next to this lady who was trying to sell him her farm up in Blue Ridge. And it was called Daffodil Hill Farms. And they do horse and buggy rides, and they have like weddings there. It's like it's a wedding venue, but a little more rustic than like West Milford Farm.
Yeah.
And he got me all excited about it, and then he was like, "No, I can't do that." I'm like, "You stink." And then the other one that I wrote was new jobs and better health for him.
Yeah.
So.
And that's coming to fruition.
Yes, it is. Do you have any? Do you ever look back on your stuff?
I do. I'm really bad about, like, I have probably 10 different journals, and I pick them up, like, they're all over the house, and I pick them up at different times. And so there's no real rhyme or reason where what I write lives. And I'm actually considering burning my journals this year. Like, there was a point where I thought, like, I'll keep these for posterity. Like, Braden can have my journal so he can go back and read. And now I'm thinking, like, he doesn't need that. Like, it makes a lot of sense to, like, just let it go.
Yeah. But it would be cool for him to be like, "Oh my gosh, that is so cool."
Well, there's not a linear journey for anyone to follow. Like, it's all over the place. Because I write on Post-it notes, I write on, loose leaf pages. Like, there's just stuff everywhere. So there's no, like, it started here and it ended here.
Oh, yeah. I used to do that. I wish I still did do it. I mean, I guess I kind of do it. Because I was looking through this, and I was like, "Oh, where's my other one?" And I don't know what other one it is, but I wrote, like, when I'll take one of these to a yoga retreat, whether I'm hosting or taking. Like, I went to Belize, and returning from Belize, this is my notes. I'll read to you.
You wrap up.
It's going to be embarrassing. I did drink on my trip, and I did feel pressured just a little, but ultimately I kept it very minimal, and now I am AF with no problem again. That was for a little while, and then I wasn't. But feeling okay about it, not great and not bad, just okay. Monday and Tuesday after the trip, I did drink. Sad face. So it's been a struggle, but I'm in a better place now. So what is my intention going to be? I got to think.
We have 2 months to get there. So now's just time to, so when you think about the wheel, right? We're entering into the slower period. It's going to get colder. We're going to slow down. That's when we reflect. That's when we think about what we want, then, like, all the great things that have happened this year, what's serving us, what's no longer serving us, and what we want to call into our life for next year. So there's no rush. We have time.
Okay, that's right. We just talked about that.
Yeah.
We have time.
We have time.
I want to do something throughout the end of the year on here, like I don't know, something.
Something.
We don't have to decide today,
Okay.
but like you know how we were doing the dad jokes at the beginning or whatever. I think we should do something at the end. Some
Well-
kind of like maybe a prompt or something.
Funny you should say that. I haven't even cracked this book open yet, but I went to a book sale on Saturday, and the person working the bookshop recommended this. It's called The 11 Karmic Spaces. And it says, choosing freedom from the patterns that bind you. And she said, this is a great book to like just randomly open up.
I love those.
Yeah. And so I haven't played with it yet, so I don't know. But actually, now that I just opened it, I'm like, yeah, this will totally work. So every week when we get on, we can randomly open the book and pick one. So, like, the one I just opened to is about self-denial. And it
Ooh.
says, you can be in the world, but not of the world. And then we can talk about what that means to us. Because, like, I've heard this before, right? This isn't a new term just in this book. You can be in the world, but not of the world.
Yeah.
And that, like, I think that ties to the whole, like, of the world would have me believe that my striving is what I need to do, right? Like, of the world means I get in line with everybody else's expectations. I create the life that everybody else wants me to have. I
Oh.
do it the way of the world. I know now that I'm in the world, and I'm choosing not to hold myself to those standards. I
Oh.
am finally learning at 49 years old that I want to be different. I want to build my own life. I want to build the life that makes me happy.
And don't get caught up in the noise.
Yeah.
Look
The
at it.
veil. Open the veil.
Yeah.
So what does that mean to you? You can be in the world, but not of the world.
Well, I didn't know what the hell that meant at all because I'm thinking, but aren't we made of the world? Like our cells, our vibration. So I was
Yeah.
having trouble. I'm like, wait, what?
So in my mind, I put it with like societal expectations.
That makes
Because
very
we're
much
energy,
sense.
we're vibrations. We're not this structure that has been created to tell us how to live within the guidelines of somebody else's expectation.
Well, I feel like since I moved here, I am living more in the world,
Mhm.
away from the craziness. So I guess
Yeah,
it kind
you're a
of
little further out.
Yeah, and I always say I'm in my own little world, but
Yeah.
it's really I'm in the world, just in my little
Well, you've created
area.
this amazing space that I get to take advantage of, and so many other people do as well, right?
It's fun. It's in the world. It's in the world. So let us know what that means to you. You're in the comments, now or whatever.
On Insta.
Esmeralda, are you there?
Hello. Hello. Hello, Esmeralda.
What does it mean to you to be? I mean, what was it now? I can't remember.
You can be in the world
be in
and
the
not
world
of the world.
and not of the world. Take
But
it on home.
It's gone now. I
Esmeralda.
closed the book, so.
Esmeralda. Esmeralda. Obviously, we're going now, so I will turn this off. Have a great day. We'll see you next week.
Good.
Hopefully,
night.
are we on next
We
week?
should be.
All right.
Yeah, I leave town on Thursday.
Little poll. Do you like this setup so that you can join in on Instagram and then you can forego the Spotify, or do we just stick with the way we were doing it? Let us know. We're going to tweak it as we go along. Anyway, all right, I'm going to get off here. See you guys later. Have a
Adios.
great night. Namaste. And then on here,
I don't know how to turn it off. Do
I have
just-
to, I think I gotta, yeah, you can leave. She left me. Did
I
you
love,
see that?
but I'm still here.
On the microphone. All right. We love you. Mwah, mwah. See ya.
Mwah, mwah. Bye.
Wait.